This is a classic style FPS that feels like it came straight out of the 90s, so it's time to relive my youth, load up and bring the pain to my lower back. Maybe I've just been terribly out of the loop, but there's one specific subgenre of video game I've only just learned has been categorised, and that is the rather annoyingly named boomer shooter. A type of first-person shooter which is of the older FPS style, what I would call run and gun, which have fast movement, hectic battles, and a complete lack of the 21st century gaming concept of realism, which is instead replaced with, fun. So games like Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Duke Nukem 3D and Quake would all be classic examples of this genre, and the old age of these games is the reason for the title boomer shooter, as the term boomer has for some reason become synonymous with old in modern language, despite it being a word specifically for people born in the baby boom of the 1940s to 60s. So that would have been the parents of people like me who mostly played and enjoyed these games when they were younger, and the boomers actually mostly did not like them and probably thought they would destroy our generation while they were too busy actually destroying us through the economy. But I digress. It's a stupidly named genre and I would rather have called it arcade shooter or run and gun shooter, but boomer shooter is what has stuck, and so here we are. These type of games have seen something of a modern resurgence with the likes of Doom 2016 and Eternal, Dusk and Ultra Kill, amongst many others. The one that caught my eye and brought my attention back into this genre is the recently released Cruel. A very 90s retro nostalgic styled shooter where you are running through procedurally generated apartment complex rooms with a fire rapidly spreading behind you, meaning you have to blast your way through floors populated with increasingly difficult enemies before the fire can catch up with you, giving it all a frenzied sense of manic urgency. You grab fallen enemies' ammo and replenish your health using cans of fuzz cola gained from vending machines, and at the end of each floor you can trade spare cans for perks. It has a good classic try, die and try again gameplay loop where it took me a few attempts just to get off the first floor, but its difficulty curve still felt very satisfying and enjoyable and left me feeling very thirsty for more. The aesthetic of this game is a beautifully crafted piece of retro bait, with its graphic style being reminiscent of the PlayStation 1 era, with its odd warping textures adding to its dark, psychotic vibe. Its old-school insistence on over-the-top violence is a joy to behold as enemies' heads fly right off in a rain of blood and you send them crashing through windows. Everything about this game's presentation just leaves you smiling from ear to ear with childlike glee. And the music! Dear God, is the soundtrack just absolutely incredible. It feels like it came straight from the early days of The Prodigy. I mean, just listen. Oh yeah. I found it extremely fun and addictive, and while I only got to the 4th floor during my recorded gameplay, I'm definitely heading back in for much more as soon as I'm done here. For a low price of £8.50 or 10 freedom dollars, it's amazing value for the amount of enjoyment it brings. It's an unapologetically brutal, heart-pounding, fuzz-fueled experience. No storyline needed, just go in and kick ass. Gaming in its purest, simplest form, just as nature intended. This is cruel, very, very cruel, but also outrageously good fun.